You all know it. Sometimes you have a bad volleyball day. You don't know why, but sometimes your volleyball performance is just bad. You worry and wonder how come I am playing so badly today, or it's not possible what I am doing on the court today. So just for you, I have advice for 12 negative situations during your bad volleyball days, how to deal with these situations and achieve to have as few bad days as possible in the future. I've experienced this myself more than 100 times. I remember many bad days when I struggled on offense, when any kind of serve reception gave me a lot of trouble, when I played poorly and my confidence was at all-time low, or when I was very nervous for unknown reasons and my nervousness negatively affected my performance. I'm sure you have a bad day sometimes too. And many of following examples you have experienced firsthand. On the other hand, I don't know a player who hasn't had a bad day. You can win the Olympics or the Volleyball Champions League, but you will still have a bad day at practice or in a match. That's a fact. Because we are not machines, we can't avoid bad days. We can't erase them from our lives. You can say to yourself, I'm going to practice for a month and I won't make any single mistake. You can't tell to yourself through a competition lasting 8 months that you are going to be the best player on the field in every game. That's why the very realization and acceptance that one day the bad day will just come is very important. And even more important is knowing how to help yourself in that situation, how to react to it and what to do. Of course, your surroundings, coach and teammates can also help you when you have a bad day. But the best way is to learn and use your own methods of dealing with bad days. But let's get to specific examples on when you are having a bad day and what guidelines and advice I recommend for these causes of bad days. Out of control. A crucial prerequisite for coping with bad volleyball days is to accept the fact that many balls and volleyball actions will not be under your control. Actions and balls that you cannot control should not drag you down into the abyss, into thoughts of having a bad day just today. You will not be able to influence every touch of the ball in a match by a teammate or opponent. Therefore, focus on what you can influence, where and when you can control the ball and your performance. This will help you adjust and settle the thoughts in your head and focus on your own performance. Serving to the net. During a match you try to serve well, but your serves end up in the net. If it happens to you once, nothing happens. But the third time you serve into the net in a row, you are already thinking that you are going to have a bad day on serve. You slowly start not believing that you will serve well over the net and into the court. My advice is to try to aim a meter over the net when you serve. You want the ball to go a little bit over the net. And also serve long serves to keep the trajectory of the balls as long as possible. Maybe serve like we do. Make a jump serve from zone 5 to zone 1. If you think like that, there is a good chance your next serve won't end up in the net. Extra actions after practice. Or if you didn't do well in practice, if you really didn't receive serves today and made a lot of mistakes, at the end of practice ask your coach or a teammate to make a few more serves to you individually. I myself have often added on after practice and these few extra actions gave me a lot. They help to my lost confidence and my bad day and practice wasn't as bad as I thought during practice after all. Attack mistakes. Also, you often find your attacks flying out of court during practice or during the game. You try to attack a diagonal, and one time you have a bad timing of the ball, the second time you get too confident. Your attacks just end up out of court. If you are suffering from these situations, attack more to safe spots. You don't want to play all your attacks to a sharp diagonal like the world best players. Time your attacks well, hit the ball as high as possible and try to hit long hits on the diagonal. You have plenty of room in the long diagonal, also the ball can fly along the longest path. I'm not saying to hit all your attacks into one place all the time, but if you make mistakes when hitting in the sharper diagonal, then maybe play the next 2 or 3 hits in the long diagonal to be safe. Your confidence will return faster and you will banish thoughts of a bad day. You can't block. You can't make a point on the block today. This is perfectly normal and especially if you block alone, the attacker has a big advantage. On the other hand, if you don't have a block from the last 3 games, that's not a good performance, and not only you, but the coach will want you to do something about it. This pressure from the coach will make some of you nervous and can make you have a bad day. To get out of this situation, I suggest wait with your block, don't help for a while with blocking the middle blockers. Instead, keep a close eye on your attacker, jump against him on the block and put your hands to the diagonal at the last moment. Diagonal attacks are preferred by most hitters in over 50% of sets. You have a better chance of blocking here if your intention is not detected by attacking player. Therefore, jump at the last moment and quickly move your hands to the diagonal. You will see that one block gained by this action will give you a big boost of your confidence and spark thoughts of bad volleyball days. Sets can't be attacked. Setters are human, though sometimes we want miracles from them. We want them to serve us sets like Luciano De Cecco, but setters don't always succeed. They have their bad days too. It also happens that hitters can hit from their sets and have to tip or play the ball to the other side with their left hand. If this ever happens to you, slow down your game as a setter. Set higher set, calm your game down, make sets that your teammates can attack. And once their play and attack start to bring fruit again, you can consider speeding up your setting again, receiving on the other side. Sometimes you will also encounter a situation that annoys the hell out of you. You want to receive serve precisely high to the net as best as possible for the setter, but your reception often ends up on the other side, on the side of opponent who takes advantage of it and scores a point. Avoid this situation and pass the next serve to 3 meters instead. It will help restore your confidence, and not only you, but your whole team will be able to score more points than if you receive serves to the opponent's side. Total loss of confidence. I've been through the struggles and the dark days. I was not good at anything. I made mistakes that I didn't normally make. I was always thinking about mistakes during the game. Of course, mistakes belong to volleyball and we are sorry for them. But they can drag you down into a situation where you rather just walk out of court. So be aware of your mistakes, but think about your next action, an action you can influence. You can undo a previous mistake, you can do anything about it. On the contrary, you can influence your next touch of the ball. Focus on it and trust yourself to execute it well. Pain in the shoulder. A lot of volleyball players also have bad days that are caused by health problems. And shoulder pain after hitting the ball is one of those pains that can make your day pretty unpleasant. So if you know you are going to do a lot of attacking or serving, warm up your shoulder with an elastic band. These few minutes will help you significantly. Your shoulder will prepare for hitting the ball and you'll have at least one less bad day. Nervousness during a match. Nervousness is part of our lives, everyone deals with it. No volleyball player is an exception. But even nervousness can be controlled at least partially. Sometimes we are nervous at the end of the set, sometimes thanks to a girlfriend in the hall, or the coach is pressing us and we are afraid to make a mistake. If you feel a whiff of nervousness, try to slow your breathing down. Breathe deeper. Don't let your brain start thinking about why you are nervous. Instead, give your brain another command. Literally breathe into it and say to yourself, I'm playing the game, only the ball is important for me. Everything else must go. I will focus on the ball and my performance. The way how I played and the result of the match I will be analyzing after the match. Pain in fingers. Painful fingers are among the pains that negatively affect our performance and give us bad days. You go to practice and you are literally afraid to play the ball with your overhead pass because they are bumped. Or you are afraid to expose your hands on the block because you got hit to your fingers on the block in yesterday's game. The easiest solution and also a help is to tape your sore fingers. Yes, sometimes taping will make your fingers not so flexible. On the other hand, it will make your fingers stronger and give you a greater sense of security and confidence, which will show positively in your game. As you see, there are many situations and causes of your bad volleyball days. I could go on here with more causes, but what's important and perhaps most important is to fight mentally, emotionally and physically with the bad days, not giving in to negative thoughts. Look for ways to minimize your bad days, to minimize their negative effects. If you can do that, I'm sure you'll play much better volleyball and you will become a better volleyball player. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.